Quick object lesson while I'm driving. I want you to look at the cars and everything that I'm passing, the businesses, and see how much you can remember, preferably in order while I'm driving by. And as you're watching those things, my guess is that after a very short amount of time, you're saying, it's impossible. There's too much information to process. And of course there is. You think of like the colors of the buildings, how about the license plate numbers, all these things. It's way too much detail. And I would really liken this to practicing slowly. There is so much information streaming by us when we're practicing, and the brain can only process so much information at a certain speed. And I really think of practicing a little bit like what I would imagine is a little bit like programming a computer. You're telling your brain, do this, and then do this, and then do this in a certain sequence. And when it's either too much information or it goes by too quickly, it's faulty programming. So let's try this example again in a different way and see how the results are. So let's try this a different way. I'm going to be walking down the same street I was just driving down, and now look at the details behind me. And I think they're much easier to see because there's a lot less details and I'm going a lot slower. There's not so much clutter in the picture, all the cars and everything else. It's just a few businesses. So there's this great Japanese place here, and this is a good restaurant here. And as we just focus on a few things, it's a little bit like, oh, I don't know, practicing just the left hand by itself, right? Just a simplified version of the music in a easily digestible amount of material. So again, there's the Japanese place, and there's the waffle place, and both great places. And when I'm practicing, I'm often going over the same things over and over and over again. Oh look, there's the Japanese place, there's the waffle place. In fact, sometimes friends of mine will say, oh, I would love it if you practiced at my house. I have a very nice piano. And I always think, there's no way you want me to practice at your house because you're going to hear the same thing over and over, possibly glacially slow tempos, and it's not going to be enjoyable to listen to. Now, if we filmed myself even walking slowly down the entire block, I think that would still be too much information to remember, but because it's a small amount of material, you know, the Japanese place and the waffle place, then it's very easy to keep track of. And this is so much like practicing. You take a small amount of material and you repeat it. If it's too much, my brain cannot remember that.